So for this week, I was asked by Karen and Jane if I could interview them based on the topic of good deeds. If you're new to the group, or you might know more one than the other, it's actually nice to know who they are and who are the faces behind How Bright Can We Shine. So I've come up with some questions to ask them more about good deeds, and about Shine. So kicking it off, Karen, how did you come to set up How Bright Can We Shine?
Good question, Anna. Thank you. It was kind of a journey. It's been a journey over the last few years that Jane and I have been on. We started working together in 2017. And at the end of 2018, we were kind of both feeling like we were going in a 2019. We felt we were going in a slightly different direction. Jane had a vision of bringing together women around the globe, and we just saw lights kind of going on all over the world, but we didn't know what it meant. And as I was traveling home from Mbabane, which is about an hour away, the one day, I literally had a vision, and it suddenly kind of all began to make sense. This whole idea of being able to bring women together wherever they are in the world, and we can actually, when we join forces, according to Matthew Arnold quote that most of us know, that when you bring women together, we have a heart and a passion to help others. And so that kind of was birthed in my mind. I shared it with Jane, and we were both just so excited about it. The idea of being able to make a difference together in the world as we connect with people, women in particular, was just amazing. So that was the beginning of it.
Amazing. Jane, what drives you to make a difference?
So I think just one of the things that drives me to make a difference is that it's really on my heart. It just is innate in me. So I kind of always just think that that's the Holy Spirit. And so whenever I do make a difference, it's always felt a really good thing to do. And then I recently did some research and found out that if you make a difference to other people, the difference it makes to you is huge as well. So that's great. And then I also worked out recently that if you share what you've done, or if you share any kind of good deed that someone else has done, and you tell someone about it, they feel good as well. So it's a feel good thing for me, not for the person who's receiving, the beneficiary, for me, and for other people who hear about it.
This is a question for both of you. However, Jane, I feel you've kind of answered. So I'll ask Karen first, and if you want to add anything, feel free. But Karen, what do you get out of doing good deeds?
The impact of knowing that you can make a difference. It doesn't matter how small it is. To be able to add something positive into another person's life is just, it's a gift. You know, it's actually amazing. And the feeling that you've actually been able to, that your day hasn't been wasted, you know, that you've actually been able to make a positive difference in the world, no matter how small it is just, it's wonderful. As I say, it's a gift.
Jane, do you have anything to add, or do you feel you've said it all?
Oh no, I'll just add as well that I think my doing good deeds thing started when I was a child, when I was in the Girl Guides movement, and when I was a Brownie Guide. And we used to have to go and do Bob a Job. We used to have Bob a Job week, and a bob in the UK was a shilling. And you used to go and do a job for someone, and they would give you a shilling. And that they always gave you more money than that. And then you used to put it in a jar, and then you took it in, and it was like fundraising for the Girl Guide, the Brownie Guides section of your guide troop. And I loved it. And I can remember, notably, my friend and I once went to do this Bob a Job thing, and this woman said, "Are you any good at peeling onions?" And we were like, "Well, we'll give it a go." By this time, I think we were guides, not brownies. And these blooming onions, she was there were pickling onions, there were tiny little onions, and there were thousands of them. Oh, but she didn't have to give us a good amount of money. We got more than a bob for that job, that's for sure. Yeah, started feeling good right back then about doing it, and continued.
Well, yeah, I think part of both the Brownie promise and the guide promise is to do a good turn or a good deed every day. So that's quite nice, yeah.
to do my duty to God, to serve the Queen and help other people, and to keep the Brownie Guide law.
There we go. More onto the Shine network and community then. Karen, what's it like seeing this community growing and continuing on with so many amazing projects that help so many people?
You just spoke then, and I actually got goosebumps. I've literally got goosebumps. Maybe it's because the door's open. No. It's just amazing. It absolutely blows my mind. And I think because what I'm seeing is I see all these individual women coming in, but every time a new woman comes in, I'm seeing connections. So somebody new will come into the network, and immediately I'm seeing the connections with the different, like with Denise, with the connection in Eswatini. I already knew Vimbai, she's a member, and automatically there was that connection. Somebody else will come in, and automatically I'm seeing the connections. And it's like these teams are being built. There's these projects that have been struggling, or people have been struggling to lead these projects. You know, they're feeling on their own. They're carrying this weight on their own. And to suddenly have this amazing network of women to be able to draw from, to put them alongside these women that are struggling, you know, I mean, every day they're sort of on the ground helping people. And just to be able to give them that little bit of a network of support is just amazing. I love it.
That's brilliant. Jane, have you noticed a small thing or good deed that has taken place through the Shine Network that people might not know about, but you'd love to share with us now?
Yeah, I would. And this one completely blew my mind, really. So there's lots of projects and things going on, and that gets shared on the actual site, and we get, you know, people knitting and crocheting, and we get people, you know, kind of finding ways to get food for, you know, the Bay Village project, or supporting Deirdre's Message After the Mess project, and all the other projects. And all those things get seen on the site. But one of the so I see them because my job is to run the site. So I'm kind of okay with all that. But then we recently had an event, so I've run the events as well, so I feel like I know all that's going on. But actually in the event we were sharing women. It was the International Women's Day event, and we were talking about women who inspired us. And then at the end of, we in the connection section, we talked about women who inspired us. And then at the end of the event, we asked, so, you know, who were those women that inspired you? And one person said, I want to name, and it was Annie Glenn, who is unfortunately not here today because she's she's traveling at the moment, but she'll be back with us hopefully in a week or two. And it was Cassie who said it, and she said, I want to name Annie Glenn as one of the women who inspires me. And I thought to myself, how does Cassie know Annie? Maybe she's just met her once in the connection section and she just really likes what Annie has to say in the event. No, her and Annie are chat on the chat on the whilst we're in the Zoom, and then they've become friends and they're on the WhatsApp then together, and they're sending each other messages, and they're supporting each other and encouraging each other. And I mean, that's something that we've always kind of aspired to, is being able to connect people together so that they can make a difference to each other. But I just didn't know it was happening like that. So I just encourage anybody to send little chats to each other and to start conversations and to connect. And if that means connecting by chatting on the Shine site, that's fine. Or, you know, if you're chatting some other way, that's fine as well. It was just wonderful to find out. And I filled right up, because that's me, I always fill up, and I filled up. It was lovely.
Oh, that is lovely, because obviously we hear about the Shine network. And obviously I'm still very new to it. So what I see kind of as part of the network is knowing you both are outside kind of as part of work, but then everyone who comes to the Wednesday group. And other than that, I've kind of started to get to know people and chat to people. But when you hear that people truly are using and loving the network and creating this community, that's an amazing thing for me to hear. So for you guys to hear it, it must be over the moon joyous, which is amazing.
It certainly is, yes.
Yeah. Karen, what is a project or cause that you'd like to help through the Shine Network? Obviously, you already do a lot, but is there something else that you'd like to help with?
You mean a project that's not currently on the site?
Yes.
If it's not on the site, it soon will be. Yes, I have a project on my heart at the moment that I'm trying to bring into the site. It's one of our members, one of our recent members. She's not able to join us because she doesn't have electricity this evening, Londiwe. She's an amazing young woman in Johannesburg. She is helping young children who they're not able to, so young children, she's got a preschool, but their families are not able to feed them properly, educate them properly. So at the moment, she has the little preschool where she feeds them. And at the moment she's raising funds so that next week she can actually take them on a trip to the zoo. And she's got all these toddlers who every day they come to school and it's like, is it tomorrow? Because she's obviously told them, like, we're going tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Is it tomorrow? And they are so excited. They don't even know what the zoo is. They've never been to the zoo. They don't even know what it is, but they are so excited to be going to the zoo. And that's just one little thing that she's doing out of her own. It's an NGO, well, it's a not-for-profit, but she's raising funds at the moment from family and friends that are supporting her. She helps young girls that have been abused. And again, this links in with Denise's project. And she's giving them, she does vision boarding with them. She does self-defense with them. It's just amazing what she's doing. So watch this space. I'm hoping that she'll be putting up a project on Shine over in the next week or two.
That'd be amazing. It's lovely to hear stuff like that. And hopefully, yeah, we can have more projects on the site that we can share and help with however we can. And I want to go to the zoo. I can't wait to see pictures and things when they're able to go. It sounds lovely. The next few questions are for both of you to answer. So I'll go to Jane first, and then Karen, if you want to take over when Jane's finished. What is a small good deed that you try and do each day or week?
Yeah, so I did think I thought I had one, but I'm not sure. Yeah, so what I try to do is to keep in touch with people and support them. So that happens all the time. So, you know, throughout lockdown and ever since, I've been helping quite a number of people to get through some difficult times. So I'll give you an example. A friend of mine has just found out that she's got breast cancer. She's just been diagnosed. So now, I mean, she's been my friend for a lot of years, and I do chat to her by messenger, and I do sometimes see her in person, but she's kind of taken a step up now, if you like, because I'll make sure that I'm there for her. So that's my thing, connecting with people and trying to support them through difficult times. I'll just quickly mention another one, which is that I do a prayer walk every morning, and I absolutely love it. And I have a chat with God, but quite often God sends me someone to talk to. And so I just love, you know, ministering to people during that walk this morning. It was one of my neighbours. As soon as I saw her, I started talking to her. She was crying and kind of wanted to just get off her chest what was going on in her life. So I end up walking, like, I've already done my walk. I'm nearly back home. I end up walking back on her walk then and back again. But it's just a great way of helping people. And, you know, I always offer to pray. And even though in the UK, most people aren't Christian, everybody who I've ever asked always says yes. Over to you, Karen.
Yeah, I don't kind of, so I actually struggled with this one. And I asked Chelsea, my daughter, what good deeds I do. So she said, no, you make me tea every morning. Does that count?
That counts.
That's good. That
like
counts.
That. Yeah,
that counts. But
yeah.
but yeah, thank you, Anna. I'll take that one. But otherwise, similar to Jane, just trying to keep in touch. I mean, we've got a lot of people on WhatsApp and direct messenger that are not members of Shine, but I like to just touch sides with people and just connect with people. I just enjoy doing that anyway. And I mean, you often find out things that people are going through just by a simple message. And again, it's just nice to sort of be able to lend some support.
some good deeds can feel like not good deeds at all and just tiny little things, but to the other person they can feel so totally massive and like life changing. So definitely continue making cups of teas and stopping people and asking if they want to chat. I think that's so important. Kind of continuing on from that, again, a question for both of you. What is a good deed that has made you smile? And that might be something that's happened to you, or maybe something that you've heard about that has just made you smile. Karen, do you want to start with that one?
Okay, that was an easy one, because I got Chelsea showed me a text message from my 13-year-old nephew this afternoon, and he just said he was in the local high street in London, and there was a person there, a homeless person, and he was able to buy him an umbrella and give him a Costa coffee, and got a big smile in return. And that just made me smile, because here he is, 13 years old, and he's out there doing, just living it, which I thought was so great. That really made me smile this afternoon. So I love it.
Amazing. Jane?
Well, I was going to talk about a homeless one, but I won't now. Actually, no. The one I was going to talk about was one that happened on our site. So a while ago, we asked for help with the Bay Village project. And we'd had some feedback from Juanita that said you need to be very specific about what you're asking for, and it was great advice. So I said, we're looking for someone to give a couple of hours at a time to send out and receive these emails back, to try and find an organisation who can feed the Bay Village project. And so, who would like to volunteer? And Juanita herself volunteered, said, I can give you a couple of hours. And so she sent out these emails, and we're still kind of gathering back the emails, and then going to start recontacting people who haven't replied, or contacting the people who those people have referred us to. But the reason it made me smile so much was that it was just that in 1 hour or 2 hours of your time, you could actually save 360 lives, because that's how many people are there, and that's how many people don't have food. So just to give a tiny bit of time could make a huge difference to a project that is right at the other side of the world, and that's why it makes me smile. Thank you, Juanita.
Amazing. I think for kind of my final question, after listening to all of this, it's obviously fantastic and inspiring and amazing, but it does make me feel that I could do so much more that I often don't have the time to do, and my life often feels very hectic, and I'm the sort of person that someone will say, do you want to try this? Yes, of course I want to try that. But something that I'd love to try and do more of is volunteering. So hopefully I can do more of that in the future, and when I can rearrange my time a bit better. But I just wanted to ask you if there's something that you wanted to kind of be able to do more of, or you feel that you could do better, or even just something that in your local area you feel you could put your time towards. I know you already do so much, so it may not be the best question, but I think it's something that me personally could take inspiration from, knowing that actually you don't have it all perfectly and right, and there are still lots of causes that you can help with.
Yeah, so I don't know whether you know, but I'm part of the leadership team of Lovestoke Church, which is in Mere Park near me, about half an hour's drive. And we are setting up, so as a team, we are setting up a high quality community coffee shop. And it's just the most exciting thing. So my thing is that I'm really, really, really looking forward to when that coffee shop is open, being able to go and sit in that coffee shop to do some work some days. And then when someone needs some help, they can come into that coffee shop and kind of someone talk to someone, and then they'll refer them to me so that I can help that person. So yeah, that's my thing. I'm excited about making a difference to lives in that way.
Karen?
For me, I think it's linked, it is to do with Shine, and it's about this idea of building a network around the women that need it. So a network around Denise, who's sitting here, a network around Londiwe, a network around Deirdre, but doing it in a more, not a more constructive way, but just making sure that they get the support that they need. And making sure that it works for everybody involved. You know, for example, the example that Jane gave there of saying, okay, we need 1 hour of somebody's time, and Juanita was able to volunteer. Exactly the same thing in the projects. You know, this is what Denise needs at the moment. It's going to take 2 hours of somebody's time. Is there somebody in the network or in the project who's willing to give that time? And so to get that system in place on Shine, and get that working well, that's really sort of close to my heart at the moment.
No, that's amazing to hear. That's all the questions from me. But I know that both Jane and Karen will happily reply to any messages, or in future meetings and events that we have. If you ever have a question for them, they'd love to answer it. But hopefully that has been a fun chat for everyone to kind of learn more about Shine, but also I feel so inspired after listening to that. So it's been really lovely to learn about all these good deeds, and I hope that you've all been inspired to continue doing them.